And that's the fact that weight loss is a willpower issue. That if you just have enough willpower, if you just have enough grit, you can make it happen. And this has changed in the past decade or so with more science coming out. This is a 2012 paper that put this model of the three parts of the brain controlling obesity, 70% of it um, being genetic and heritable, right? So it's if you have family history of obesity, a huge risk factor for obesity later in life. We have pediatric obesity now, and you see the executive function in your brain, the motivational center, homeostatic, the balance center of the brain. Everything goes hand in hand that puts certain people at risk of obesity and is really appetite driven. Um, there's a bunch of other things, but the fundamental piece is the appetite and hunger system is slightly overdriven in people living with obesity. And the key takeaway is that we treat it like a disease, just like other diseases. Someone with depression, we just don't say try harder and just don't have depression or many other diseases. It's a progressive condition that can get worse over time, um, and it has to be treated as such. We have to consider it a real disease, and it is a real disease. That's myth number one. That is not just willpower. You need tools. You need if you need medications, you need medication. We're going to quickly talk about that. If you need Ozempic, you need Ozempic. But and lifestyle alone, you lose 5 to 10% of body weight if you're lucky, and how much you can keep off is a different matter.
Very interesting is that we're now moving to the brain, saying that there's a lot of genes that are important in weight. I get it, but our weights have changed dramatically over the last 10, 20, 30 years, and the gene pool hasn't changed. Um, and so you're stuck with a certain point of genes, and what Dr. Eric Topol talks about the superagers is not the genes, it's how you react to the environment. So I have genes for diabetes, I have genes for heart disease, but I have a choice and how I choose to react and to change. So I put my diabetes into remission. I'm fighting my heart disease with the best medications and the best lifestyle changes that I can. And I think when it comes to eating habits, is that exercise is so important to build muscle, quality of life, better sleep, and keep the weight off. But calorie restriction and the processed food that we're eating is just been a huge problem. So we have to really think about how we're going to eat for the rest of our lives. Are we going to just eat the foods that are, from restaurants to all the processing, and I have to really change that. And I have to sort of that home cooked meals, that batch eating, those salads, and having your own garden and things of nature are so important. So fight back. And if you're just going to say, I'm just going to go for a walk, um, you're not going to be too successful at a weight reduction. Um, but there's so much you can do. And so, yes, my brain tells me a bunch of things, but how I'm going to react is important.